anything or just a scout. I don't know.
That was great sounds of Watch with Outside on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, with my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, EZ BlueZ is in the building. EZ BlueZ, you're better introductions more than me. Who do we have with us today on Behind the Brand?
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to jump back in that DeLorean. We're going to pop it up to 88 miles an hour. And we're going to go back in time. I remember like it was yesterday, ending upon a place where we will not mention their business because they do not pay us. And I was there working. And in comes a platform-wearing, silvered-hair goddess, looking for some things to help her voice. And there we began to talk. That brought us into the radio that was not pretty. And one day I get the easy signal gets shined up upon my house. Steve Rogers needs people to sing backup for his song about peace and praying for it. And there, at the very stage of the State House, walks in the amazingness that is this human being. But honestly, when we talk about music, when we talk about life, there are these amazing canon events. And this person will always, from this point on, hold such an incredible place in my heart because the last show at the State House was the jam. And, as when I stood at that door and told everybody, no, we are not grieving today. Today we are happy. Today we celebrate. Today is a party. Today we make a moment. This person walked in and declared that moment. She did not make that moment. She did not craft that moment. She declared that moment, and she took everyone on an emotional trip through their fields, took us to church, took us to Friday night, took us back to Saturday night. We were all hungover, and we still went to church the next day type of church by doing a song that was part of my childhood in a way that I'd never felt it before, not heard it before, felt it before. So for that, I am honored. I am blessed. I am so supercalifragilistic happy to have this person on our show with us today. Please put your hands together. Not if you're driving. If you're driving, please keep your hands at 10 and 2. We don't need any accidents. But mentally, put your hands together. The astonishing, the amazing, the absolutely dang incredible Stout is with us today.
Hey, y'all. What's good?
What's up, Stout?
How are you?
I am great at getting better.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well,
I learned that from a friend of mine.
And those are the things that are so truly important. And it's actually something that you can feel, through your music. I remember when Queen dropped and, the power that was behind it. And I remember, last time we talked, you had actually crafted the beats from being on the road and taking full control of your image, of, your sound, of your song structure, and how it is rendered. Now, in this industry, it is very difficult to do that if you're not already giving people $1 bajillion. How are you able to stay so true to yourself and your vision, especially a vision that is at some points a little left of mainstream? How do you do that and able to carry yourself so well?
I mean, I don't know anything else. All I know to be and to do is to be myself authentically. And a lot of times what that looks like for me is what you see, which is limitless, and it's multi-hyphenate, So what you see is just me being true to myself. I swear by that. I abide by that. And that's how I'm able to stay consistent in who I am. It's just because that's the only thing I know how to do. And I feel like that's what people are connecting to, is that the authenticity of myself.
I believe so too, because and here's the other really coolest part about the whole thing. I remember sitting in the State House for the Steve Rogers choir group sing along for pray for peace, and you walked in, and what was really incredible to me is other people didn't know what was actually was about to happen, because here you have Frank Vialli, who's about to release a phenomenal record that's getting huge numbers. You're there. Steve Rogers is there. You have some of these phenomenal, music scene that is CT. Like, there was greatness in a room, and it was just a Tuesday. What brought you to there? Because I know what brought me to that stage on that Tuesday. But some people will say Steve Rogers and Stout. I don't see how that works.
Yeah. I'm all about community. We can be great all over the world, but it's important to go into your community and support those in your community. So number one, we're in the same community, we're in the same music community, in different ways. And then the message, like, I'm always pulled by energy and purpose. And I felt like there was great purpose in that song. And then it's like, okay, the community is coming together. I'm in. That's what brought me there. Is community.
That's awesome. That's awesome, and that's something that really, as an outsider to the scene 10 plus years ago, to coming into the scene, what drew me in here is just how beautiful the community truly is, and how tight it can be. Now, again, everything has its good sides, everything has its bad sides. We're not here to focus on the bad, but the actual community aspect is so beautiful to know. I say it all the time. I kind of grew up as that lonely kid, and all my friends were on my tape deck or in my radio, and now I actually get to scroll through my playlists, and my friends are actually on there. Like, I listen to your stuff on the regular, or Mr. Council stuff on the regular, because I now have a human connection, and it's everything I ever wanted. Being 12 years old and being like, I just want to be friends with phenomenal musicians and play music. So I don't ride in a Bentley, but I'm happy and I'm content with what I do. And I get to make these incredible connections. How was it navigating through this industry? Because it's another thing we love to do on the show is talk about the different aspects. You don't necessarily just have to be a songwriter. You don't necessarily have to have a smash hit single every single week. There are ways to make money in this industry, in other aspects of it. And you have really navigated that with such grace and poise. I'd love if you could send a little bit of that secret. Yeah, obviously before the book comes out and you make millions of dollars off of it, give them just a little taste.
Yeah, how did I navigate this? You're saying like the industry, or just coming to where I am, my journey?
Yes.
The industry more. Actually, we're saying both, but we want to give them a little bit of actual business structure.
Yes. First of all, I'm determined, and I am relentless, and I am resilient, and I am purposed. So, like, I started very young, in music, in the church, and let me say this, people like to, I was just talking about this maybe this morning or yesterday. People like to say, oh, they're from the church. So as if that doesn't count. It's as if church, or the sound of church gospel, didn't contribute to a lot of what we hear today. It is literally the epicenter of music. That's my theory. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. So anyways, I got my start in music, in the gospel sounds, as a 3-year-old. I started playing drums, and then I started singing at 5. Then I was doing both by the age of 6, playing for my choir, singing in the youth choir. And it started to grow from there. So I'm bringing up my beginnings is because I knew from the beginning that this is what I was supposed to do. And I knew that I was just, obsessed and just obsessed with music. So it started back then. I was relentless and determined and motivated from a very young age. So I started, I got called to sing around Connecticut in the gospel scene, going from church to church. I always wanted more. So as a teenager, I started to venture out to New York City. Then boom, I started going to a very iconic open mic called the Village Underground. Those that's listening, I know somebody knows about the Village Underground, New York. New York raised me in a sense, in that way. Connecticut raised me, New York raised me. So my ambition led me to New York, to that open mic, which led me to a different pool of singers, right? And so that opened me up to a different pool of singers, opened me up to bigger opportunities. Then I started working with Alicia Keys because of people that I met in the scene in New York,
right?
And then working with Alicia Keys opened up my business mind, because I got to see her, had a front seat to watching an artist run their business, create shows, work with a team, watch her team organize tours and organize a whole, we were like a 20-piece band at that time, just watching how they orchestrated everything. So I navigated from church to singing solo to singing background to wanting to then run my own business, because this is a business. When you're an artist, whether you have a team, you're still the overseer. So all of my experience came from church, watching my grandmother in church run the church, watching, other artists run their small little groups. And then, like I said, to background sing, bigger scale. So that's, how I started to navigate my own business, by being a background singer, by being in the background and watching and observing and learning and then applying. And now we are here to where I'm running my own business as an artist, able to hire people, able to show them the ropes, Sorry,
well, and no, it's oh boy, oh man, I feel called out. No. All right, I'm listening, I swear. No, but one of the most incredible things is, and I love how you brought this up, and it blows my mind still is that negative aspect of it. Because to me, I always looked at those really super phenomenal artists and been like, oh, of course they started out on the gospel scene. Aretha Franklin started on the gospel scene. Go ahead, tell me she's not legitimate. You know what I mean? Like, you learn these complicated harmonies, you learn, and as gospel continued to evolve. And then really, if you look at it from a marketing point of view as well, where it was the Christian or gospel scene was growing at a 1.37 mark every single year in music sales. For the longest point in time, it was the only genre that was consistently making money and making a progress as we were converting over to the digital age. There's money there. There's 100% money there. So no matter how you do it, to try to take the legitimacy out of coming out of the church first, that also means you were at practice all the time. That also means, the show might have been at 4, or the service might have been at 4, but you were at the church at 11 o'clock. You knew what it was like to be on that professional timeline. You knew how important it was to get those runs in there and to get that practice in there. A lot of stuff that the professional musicians don't really know until it's too late, and even Johnny Cash started out as a gospel singer, if we're being honest with each other, so people need to take the stigma. We get it. You believe whatever you want to believe, but to say that you can't get feeling from any type of music that is done properly, and I'm sorry, but when you grow up in an industry that is about evoking an emotion, and really gospel music is about evoking that emotion, evoking the spirit so that everyone can feel something in that church, blessing that onto the secular scene is so super important. So yeah. I get off my soapbox now.
Yes, I love it.
Sorry.
What was it like being on a Jimmy Fallon show?
You understand. It was awesome. The vibe in the NBC building, or the NBC quarters, or whatever you want to call it, is just electric, man. Like, even like going from like, even when you walk in and you sign in, everybody's just so excited. Such a great feeling in that building. But Jimmy Fallon show, first of all, he's an incredible host. So hospitable. His team is hospitable. And the vibe in the hallway, you never know who you're gonna run into. Like, whoever the special guest is for that day, besides the musical guests, like, you can literally just run right into them, and everybody is just kind of like super cool. Had a blast doing that, man.
Any talks with Questlove? Any talks with Black Thought? Like, did you get inside their heads, get information from them? Because that's an iconic band, The Roots.
Yeah, they were all very cool. Like, I think how many times I don't even know how many times I played there. Maybe 2 or 3. I don't know. One of the times I was there, kind of managing my son, because my son,
oh wow,
got called to sing in a boys' choir for 2 Chainz. And so this is after I had already played there with Childish Gambino, where I was the vocal director and I performed. So Questlove and them, I think I saw them when we worked with Childish.
Right.
And they were just so cool in the hallway, just saying hi to everybody. Super, super, super cool dudes, man. In their room, listening to music. Just cool vibes, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
that's one of the key things, because like even like to this day, whenever I'm having some type of issue like with creative block,
Right.
I will put on, because I do Audible. That's just the way it goes. I put on Questlove's book, and it's him reading it to you, and it feels like you're just having a conversation with somebody. It feels like we're doing this, except it's me and Questlove having a conversation, and now all of a sudden I'm inspired to do something a little bit differently, or you know, I'm able to have that conversation, which is so super important when you want to continue to push and you want to continue to grow. You know, as you continue to push and continue to grow, coming from so many different genres, now here you've taken one of, we'll say, look, you're taking the single that the video dethroned Thriller in the 90s. Let's be real. Thriller was the #1 video for the entire year, I think, until 93. We're talking from the like early mid 80s to 93, #1 video on MTV every year. And then Smells Like Teen Spirit drops. And a year later, you know, it's taken out. This is a record that off of that single, they actually beat out Michael Jackson's record for top record sales after Christmas off of Returns. You got your Christmas gift. It wasn't the music you wanted. You went to the store. You waited in that January line at the store. Yeah, this is before streaming, folks. You actually had to put work in to listen to your music. And you return that record to buy Nirvana's record. And now you have done something with it that is just truly incredible. You do bring the spirit when you perform that live, and it's so organic on that track. What brought you to that path? What said, that looks like an impossible goal. I'm going to hit that impossible goal and like walk away like Samuel L. Jackson at the end of Die Hard 3 as the building is burning behind you.
It was destined. It was just destined. You know, you mentioned earlier that, you know, this is a song that you love since your younger years. Same thing for me. Now, listeners and viewers, I don't need you guys questioning what my age is. Never mind. It's not your business.
Old enough.
But just know I'm old enough to understand the frequency that is Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. You know, so that song, I'm joking, but that song has been with me since my teens, you know, and it just like, again, you know, I grew up in a church, and I grew up in a time where it was really strict. You know, I grew up having to sneak to listen to, you know, other music. I don't say secular because I just don't believe in that term. I don't. I had to sneak to listen to other music side of the gospel realm. I had to sneak, you know. So like when I was raised in church, I was raised in a home church, right? So if you guys know about that, there's a lot of churches that started in the living rooms of folks' home, and I grew up like that. So we grew up, the church was in the basement. So I would leave prayer service, okay, because my great grandma loved to have noonday prayer, you know. So in the summertime, it's noonday prayer. I would sneak off after praying a little bit and go upstairs into the living room, pop on Yo MTV Raps or pop on MTV. So I see what the latest videos were, and Nirvana was one of them. And I remember just sitting there listening to it, being so connected to his approach to the song, his vocal approach, and saying, I want to do that. I think I am that. I can do this. I love this sound. I remember saying that to myself. And all these years I had to like kind of keep it to myself, because again, I wasn't allowed to express myself in that way through that frequency. And so all these years, this has been just living with me. And 5 or 6 years ago, I just woke up and created my own arrangements of it because I was inspired. I was like, you know what? I want to do this. And I started testing it out with audiences. They loved it. And earlier this year, a mentor of mine was like, you need to record that and you need to do it now. You need to release that. So here we are.
And just so people know, like I said, you did this song at the State House, the last jam, the last show of the State House. And there's somewhere on the interwebs, there is footage. Now the jam, everyone's just up there playing music. There is footage of Tim, who's playing the horn, realizing halfway through what you were actually singing, and like the light just shot up inside his head and he got super excited. That type of stuff is just monumental. When you can make that moment, when you can make somebody that you're jamming with pop, it is by far one of the most incredible things. How is this just something you've been blessed with, or is this something because you realized who you were at a young age? You realized you could only be you. This is just your natural evolution, or is this a contrived thing that we can only sell on social media?
Natural evolution, completely authentic. Because if you think about what was being played, it wasn't the actual chords for Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I guided them into it because I knew that's what I wanted to do. I
Mm-hmm.
knew the melody of the chorus and the hook matched what was already happening. So we were able to just kind of segue right into it. It was like perfect. It's a sweet spot. And that happens when you are trained, okay,
Mm-hmm.
not just musically, but spiritually. You have to, and you have to be confident. And confidence comes from pure connection to your gift and your art. So that moment happened because it was super authentic. It was natural and it was just destined, and that's why you see that happen amongst, the players.
The players on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven, myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made EZ BlueZ is in the building. We got the amazing Stout with us on Behind the Brand. EZ BlueZ, continue.
Well, this is something that talked about 1.5 million times, and I love that you're here to actually show the proof of it. You have a lot of, and we're seeing it more and more through social media, industry plants type of aspect. This is not something that's new to the industry. You know what I mean? The reason why we call Michael Jackson the king of pop, yes, phenomenal aspect, but his record label paid MTV to call him the king of pop 5 times every hour. We were conditioned, just like we were conditioned with the ABCD song, and just like we were conditioned with the Northmen above North Richmond, or North Richmond above North Richmond. None of this is that organic aspect. None of it. It's all paid for by the record companies to make it look like it's organic. But here you are, just 100% living as yourself, and you're making these strides and you're taking on. And yeah, the reality is sometimes there's only 150 people in the audience. Sometimes it's a club that you brought the house down and you get bored just standing on stage. You go up by the DJ booth and you really tear it down. How do you navigate through that, being original and not, selling your soul to the highest bidder?
It's a no-brainer. It's just not going to happen. It's not even something I think about. It's not even something like, oh, should I? Now, let's be honest. I will be honest, because I'm just an honest and transparent person. Back in the day, when the whole trap era came in, because I'm such a I have my ear to the streets, and I study music. I'm like, because I love I love music, all across the board. And I was like, maybe I should try to maybe intertwine this into my music. Maybe this song, because I love exploring. Then I was just like, when it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna make something or force something. So I love to be honest about that, being transparent. But it's just a no-brainer. I can only just be me, and I feel like in what I know, what I'm doing is it. It's mine, and people are gonna catch on to it. And I'm grateful for those that is, and that it's impacting, so that's my mindset. Sometimes, of course you want to, you see, like for now, you see Beyonce playing the stadiums. I'm like, man, one day I feel like I'm going to get there. But if that never happens, I know I'm still impacting people. I don't want to discredit those, the room of 150, like you said, or the room of 200, a room, whatever, 1,000. I'm impacting. That is success within itself. So it's a no-brainer. I can only be me. I don't think about trying to be like anybody else or do what everybody else is doing.
And so people know how valid the growth of just being yourself can be. Yeah, you're not hitting the stadium aspect yet, but here you are, someone who grew up in New Haven, someone who went through the public school system out here, and this last summer, you were headlining the Arts and Ideas Festival on the Green, something that, let's be real, for the people who understand New Haven culture, you're always going to hear the bicker aspect. Arts and Ideas doesn't support local acts and local talent. I said, excuse me, you were headlining the Arts and Ideas. How did that happen? How did you manage to create this rip and revenue, or not revenue, avenue?
Again, authenticity, man. I'm a firm believer in being where you're supposed to be. Like when you trust God, your path and your steps are ordered. Is it hard to trust? Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It's like because you wanna. It's like when you know you're great, you see things. You're like, I should be doing that. I should be doing that. I'm great. I have that confidence, but I also feel like when you just God and trust the path, then everything just starts aligning. And arts and ideas happen that way. If you think about how many years has Arts and Ideas been around now? Maybe 10, 13 years.
I want to say probably like 10, P.
Okay. So 10 years, here I am.
10 years.
This was the moment. It was right. It is right. I've evolved. I have so much to offer. It was only right. So with that happening too, it did so much for me spiritually. And it just showed, just trust the path that God has set. Like trust that everything is going to happen in its time. Just like I feel like other things that I see for myself, it's going to happen when it's supposed to. And I'm going to be in the right place at the right time. So arts and ideas happen at the right time with the right connections, and it's kind of like really just organically happen.
Right.
Can I give a shout out? I want to give a big shout out to
Please do.
Paul Hudson Bryant. You already know that's my New Haven's own. He was one that really was like, hey, y'all need to Stout. She is a Haven native. She is this. He vouched for me, and that's how the open it. Like, okay, So I want to give a huge shout out to him. He's been working with me. We've been working with each other since 2016. And it's organically here we are, 2023. So shout out to him, and again, shout out to just trusting the path.
Yeah. Well, and that's super, super important because it's not just and for those that are playing the home game, she didn't just say, she just sat back and trusted that it was going to work out. They say all the time when God closes a door, he opens a window. What they forget to tell you is you still have to go through the window. She did not sit back and wait for this opportunity to happen. She went out there, she grinded, she worked her butt off, she earned this opportunity. Yes, have that trust, but also have that trust and faith in you and the work that you are doing. So don't sit back and be like, I released the best song ever and I'm staying in mama's basement until someone realizes how awesome I am. Nah, homie, right. You gotta go out there. You gotta put the work in. For real. All right, I'm off my soapbox again. I apologize.
No, go back. We want to hear it. But yeah, that's you got to get out there and do the work. Somebody asked me recently at the Black Wall Street Festival that happened at the new Green. Shout out to the Breed Entertainment. Those are my friends. Somebody was like, Stout. Oh, they were talking to me. They were a supporter, and I was encouraging them. They was like, oh, one more thing before you go. How did you get the New Haven Arts and Ideas Festival? I was like, I worked for it.
Yeah.
Worked for it. I said, continue to do what you're doing, continue to work, and it's going to come to you. Somebody's going to see you, but you got to get out there and work. You can't just be like, oh, I'm good in your room, like you said, in the basement. No, you got to get out there and work. It's going to come. That's what happened for me. I've been putting the work in. I deserve to be there.
What haven't you done? What haven't you done? What was not on the list for you? What's going to be on the checklist? Yeah.
Grammys. I've done the Grammys, but with other artists. I've been blessed to do the Grammys. With Alicia Keys and then with Childish Gambino. It's a blessing, to be in the room and be on the stage. I want to do that as a solo artist. I'm going to do that as a solo artist. I'm going to be nominated. I want to do the Oscars. I want to do the SAG Awards. I want to do Essence Festival. I want to do Afro Punk. I want to do Coachella, Bonnaroo. I've done Coachella with Childish. I've done Bonnaroo with Childish. I want to play as a solo artist. I want to do Pitchfork, the festival. I want to do everything imaginable. Everything imaginable. I want to touch the world.
Right.
So there's so much to do. There's so much to do, and the blessing is getting up every day and having the opportunity to try.
Have you performed outside of the United States? Have you performed outside the United States?
Have I?
Yeah.
Solo? Or just in general?
Just in general, yeah.
Yes. I've been blessed. Europe, Africa, Australia, Asia. I've been blessed, in the islands, through Alicia Keys, she brought us everywhere. I've been blessed to play all over the world with her. I've been blessed to play all over the world with Corey Henry and the Funk Apostles. I am a Funk Apostle. Yes, I'm doing my solo thing, but I am always going to be a Funk Apostle. Please believe. I've been blessed. Yeah, I've been blessed with that crew to travel the world. I've been blessed with Childish Gambino to travel the world, twice and triple and quadruple times over.
Oh Lord.
And then for solo, I played Milan, as a solo act. I played there with other artists, and I played there by myself with name is Marcus Mingione. I've been blessed to play with him. He's like a huge Italian pop star. And then I've been blessed to play in the UK as a solo artist. South Africa, with Corey Henry and the Funk Apostles. So yeah, I've been blessed.
That's awesome. That's incredible. And it's also like, I have to say, from a listener's point of view, I can only imagine what it would be like to a live performance of your version of Smells Like Teen Spirit to the UK. They would just they would gnaw. I'm talking explosions. Like, things would happen there. That is a phenomenal aspect, and it's exactly what I look for, because those are those incredible moments as an artist. That's what you want to do. Is you want to make your band pop. You want to make, but when you get that whole sway and you can just feel the moment happen. Now, you've been doing this for a while. How do you navigate that? Because there's a bunch of new people that come out there and have this 3-second moment, and it can be terrifying and it can crush you. Like, when you have that great response, it can scare the living bejeebus out of you. How do you navigate that and still be able to knock out the performance? How do you deal?
You mean as if me personally having a react to what I'm doing?
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. It can be a little scary when you feel like all eyes are on you. It's like, oh, whoa, because I've had several viral moments on the internet. It's not scary. It's the thing. It's I welcome it, but it's I'm really big on okay, this is cool. The online stuff is cool, but let's let it translate in reality, real life. That's what I look for. I need for that to translate more. I feel like the world needs to catch on to, this cover that they need to catch on to everything that I'm doing. But when they catch on to this cover that I've done, and even my original music, it's gonna. I'm waiting for that moment. I'm working for that moment, for it to touch the world, for the people in the world to catch on to whoa. I'm not saying that they're not, but I can't wait for that global moment. Wait a minute, did you hear Stout's cover of this? Because nobody has done it like me.
Oh no,
nobody is performing it like me. Nobody will. I'm just confident. I'm waiting for Dave Grohl to get the memo. Wait a minute.
I'm actually shocked that there hasn't been a thing, and I think all the listeners that are listening to this show right now, let's get this trending. All right, hashtag Stout Grohl. And let's get that trending, so those two names are stuck together. Let's get this song in his hands. We know enough people out there. I'm gonna hit up my buddy Craig Adams over there. He's actually done a couple of weird open mics that Dave Grohl has shown up to. So who knows? We make this happen. But I think this is, and let's ignite the city of New Haven. Get behind one of your own.
Yes.
Especially right now with Chesky and the co-defendants blowing up the way that they're blowing. This is the perfect time. The iron is already hot. Let's strike, but let's strike as a community together. Hashtag Stout, STOUT /Grohl. You know how to spell Dave Grohl's name, GROHL. All right? Stout Grohl. Hashtag. Let's make this happen.
Seriously. You know what I see, and I'm going to say here. I've said it to friends, but I'm going to say it live and on air, you guys. You know what I see? I see Dave Grohl getting this song and oh, I got to play with her. I got to play that with her. I see it. There's no way. I know he would live for it. I know we say live, but he would love, I know he would love it, and he would be connected to it, and he would want to play with me. I just know. And it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely going to happen. And I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen, because that means I'm one step closer to hanging out with Dave Grohl. And that's what's important in my life. Let's be real.
And guess what? I'm going to say this. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I'm gonna add on to that. Me, Dave Grohl, right? And Kendrick Lamar on the remix. What's up?
Oh, let's go. Giddy up. What do you
And
think?
you know, he likes to dabble and
I love
sing
it.
a little bit. He would eat it up.
Oh, there we go. Let's
You
make
heard
this
it
happen.
here first. Don't try to steal my idea because you just can't.
Nope, you can't.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. And if you try to take the idea or you try to purchase the idea, she's going to need it at 300% markup. It's a 300% markup.
We're coming after you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. There we go.
You know, they're like, oh man, Stout, you said
Word.
it, man. You said, I'm like, yeah, I'm being on stage with the award. I said this on Ugly Radio.
We're gonna play this. We're gonna sit on WNHH. We're definitely gonna have that in the background aspect of it. The video, all of a sudden, Preston and I are gonna hack into the Grammy aspect, and right there, just and they said it right here, and it's just be me and P going.
Right, exactly. You know,
I love the energy. I love the energy so much. I love the testimonials too. You are foreseeing this, and most likely you foresee it. If I can barely speak, it's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. It's definitely meant to be. We're coming up to a close very shortly on the show on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City Made, EZ BlueZ is in the building. What inspiring advice that you have left to give people who want to be in a similar path as yours, and just please just give out any type of future events and any type of social media and ways to reach and contact you. I know this is like a 3-part question, but go right ahead, Stout. This time is yours.
Yes. As I fix my mullet, I know you guys love it. I know you love it.
Oh,
absolutely.
I'll brush my beard while you're doing it. There we go. We're in sync.
What I'm saying? You know, we got to do a quick little hair check. Okay. But man, guys, I love when I'm asked this question.
Right.
Because this is what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about passing on. I'm passionate about motivating and empowering other people. Be yourself. Trust yourself. You know, you are an innovator. I feel like a lot of us, we look to other people for the path. The path is within you. You know, look within yourself. Trust your sound. Trust your approach. Trust that what you're doing is fresh and new. You know, and just be yourself and do it. Do it scared, but just do it. Stop sitting on things, you guys. Stop for somebody to validate your ideas. Your ideas are valid. I'm not saying don't have a group that you can trust to share ideas with, but you got to even be careful with that, you guys, because not everybody can carry your anointing or your gift or support it. So be very careful and strategic about who you share it with, but share it with your trusted village, and then utilize them to help you to get that idea off the ground. Mommy can help, daddy can help, uncle can help, cousin can help. Do it. The resources are there. Anything is possible. Okay. Because if you make a plan, you're going to succeed. Even if it doesn't go the way that you plan, it's still going to succeed. It's success by you just getting out and doing it, guys. So do it. Do it. Whatever you got to do, whatever that dream is. You know, like for me, I'm speaking about Dave Grohl and him connecting with the song, not because it's a thing to do, or it's like, oh, she's just trying to do rap music because she wants to be it. I am a eclectic artist. I can do whatever I want to do. And this is just one of the sounds that God has given me. So I am authentic. I'm serving. I am qualified to sing this song. And that's why I feel so confident about it, confident about Dave hearing it. So what I'm saying is, guys, I have this idea, I have this vision. So I manifest it by speaking it. And I know I'm going to connect with him. So I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. Whatever it is, whatever the idea is, you're not crazy. Do it. Okay. And I hope that helps. As far as what I'm doing, you guys, you know, I'm just on this path. We're evolving. We are in this certain frequency of music. So we have more music coming out, following up the release of What Smells Like. I'm going to be playing. Where am I going to be playing? I'll be in St. Louis in September. On September 9th, I'll be playing St. Louis with Keon Harold, an incredible musician, at a festival out there. Then I'm going to be in LA working. And then, oh my God, I'm trying to remember my schedule, you guys. I'm gonna be we're announcing these 2 shows. We haven't announced it yet, but guys, I'm gonna be playing a big show in New York again coming up. So we'll announce that. Make sure you follow me on social media. The Stout on Instagram, the THEE Stout, STOUT on Instagram. No, I'm not on Twitter or Threads, whatever they call it, or X. I don't know what it's called, but I'm not on that, you guys. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook as well as Denise Renee or Stout. So find me there. I list all of my shows there. We got new music coming out, and we're going to be all over the world. There's some great things in the works, so just look out for it, okay?
Definitely.
Yes.
And lastly,
and hold on. And just so they know,
gotcha.
Stout does 100% reply back to the things, even though I'm still, my feelings are hurt. She hasn't accepted my friend request on Facebook, but I'm crying. But
She
I'm
will.
on the inside.
She will.
Because I still see the updates, and I know she's doing well. But because all you have to do is say that you want to follow them. But it's fine. I'm not hurt. You're hurt. It's fine.
DM me right now. I'm gonna make sure I follow you because you are the holy. You guys are the holies. I'm embarrassed. I'm so sorry.
Now that we are off our soapbox.
Dude, I'm making a soapbox.
On WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven, myself, Prestige, Long Island Raised, Elm City Made, EZ BlueZ is in the building. Before we get off, please tell us a little bit left about what Smells Like Teen Spirit. Tell us why it's a great song before we play it here on the station.
Yeah, it's iconic, and a lot of people think of the lyrics like, what is he talking about? I'm such a deep thinker. I always try to get into what he was thinking of when I say they because they're all listed as writers when they wrote the song. And so it takes me back to their early interviews, and they just kind of like a band that loved to play, and they were just like, man, it's just, I don't know. I was just writing what came in my head, like, what I was just going off the top of the dome, as they say, and I feel like, you think about the lyrics, a mulatto and albino, a mosquito, a libido. It's like, that sounds like, okay, this match, this works. I don't care. Right. Just sing it. So to me, it was like this carelessness of, I don't care. I'm just me. This is what I feel. And this is what I'm putting out. And look, it was iconic. It's classic. So it inspired me, I don't know, in a deeper way to just do what I feel. It's a great song. It's a carefree. It's reckless. It's beautiful in so many ways. And that's why I decided to put, my hands on my ear on this. So here it is. The reimagination of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Appreciate you so much for making some time for us here on the Behind the Brand. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Raised, Elm City Made, EZ BlueZ.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Ah! Yes.